Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita mulakan kelas kita pada pagi ini dengan membaca Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajmain. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, ampunkanlah dosa-dosa kami, ampunkanlah dosa kedua ibu bapa kami dan kasihilah mereka sebagaimana mereka mengasihi kami di masa kecil. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu yang bermanfaat untuk diri kami, keluarga kami, agama kami, bangsa kami dan negara kami. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, berilah kepada kami kejayaan di dunia dan di akhirat. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, jadikanlah kami orang-orang yang bersyukur. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah kita bersyukur pada 10 ya. Dan pada minggu yang ke-9, pada minggu lepas, kita sempat baca soalan ni dan kita belum sempat buat jawapan Kita belum tengok jawapan dia. Okey. Jadi kita pergi tengok sekali lalu soalan ni. Okey, untuk kita mengingat kembali apa yang kita nak buat. Okey, kita tengok kat sini ada 3 company ya. Ajwa, Rotab dan satu lagi adalah Safia. So Ajwa acquire Rotab ya. Ajwa acquire Rotab 132 million out of 220 million shares. Okey. Kemudian cara bayar dia adalah 2 shares for every 3 shares pada harga RM1.90. Sekejap betul ke tu? 132. Okey. Cash payment. Okey, cash payment dia betul dengan kemudian cash payment dan juga ada dibayar dengan harga RM1.90 ya untuk setiap unit saham. Okey. Issue sebanyak 2/3 kali dengan 132 juta. Okey. Kemudian dia beli semula sebanyak 44 juta, yang mana 44 juta ni adalah 20%. So asalnya 60 campur 20 sama dengan 80%. Okey. Kemudian acquisition yang kedua, acquisition in Safia. Acquisition in Safia, dia acquire sebanyak 60%. Okey. Dengan harga 81.6 juta. Okey, kemudian di bawah tu adalah a few adjustments. Untuk kita ingatkan balik, ada a few adjustments. Okey, antaranya ada sale of equipment dengan unrealized profit sebanyak 5 juta dan remaining useful life 4 years. Kemudian ada receivable include 7 million due from Safia, yang mana sebenarnya ini adalah merupakan dalam dia ada 3.2 juta. 3.2 juta adalah goods just sent by the seller. Okey, kemudian kat situ ada unrealized profit jugalah. Okey, kemudian at the end of the year, directors ni dia declare dividend. Okey, declare dividend. Untuk Rotab ni dia declare full year preference dividend, manakala untuk Safia dia declare ordinary dividend 5%. Dan amount dividend tu belum lagi ada dekat sinilah, tak ada lagi. Kita tengok kat sini belum ada lagi dividen yang disebutkan tadi. Jadi memang dia belum declare. Okey. Kemudian apa lagi? Goodwill. Goodwill impaired by 20%. Goodwill of Rotab impaired by 20%. Kemudian group policy to provide depreciation straight line method. The group policy to measure the non-controlling interest at its proportionate share of the fair value of net asset of the subsidiary. So itulah soalan dia. Jadi kita akan tengok jawapan. Okey, so kita tengok jawapan dia. So yang saya sebutkan tadi tu, okey, kita start dengan calculation of goodwill. So calculation of goodwill of Rotab, okey. Okey, macam mana kita nak calculate dia punya consideration transferred? So the consideration transferred will be calculated based on the number of shares acquired, that is 132 million, divided by 3 times 2. Because for every 3 shares in Rotab, Ajwa will issue 2 units ordinary share, and the issue price is at RM1.90. So the share exchange, consideration transferred based on share exchange is 167.2 million, whereas based on cash it is 10.4 million, and the total is 177.6 million. And then we calculate the fair value of net asset. The fair value of net asset of Rotab Berhad on 1st October 2014. Okay, on 1st October 2014, so ordinary share capital is 110 million. This is in the ringgit, 110 million. In unit, it is 220. Okay, in ringgit, 110 million. Pre-acquisition retained profit, 24 million. And pre-acquisition share premium is 15 million. So these are all the equity available on the date of acquisition. And we total them to 149 million. From this 149 million, we are going to calculate our non-controlling interest, 40%. 40% times 149 million equal to 59.6 million. So this 59.6 million, we plus 177.6 to get the fair value of investment of 237.2 million. And this amount will be compared with 149. So we have a difference of 88.2 million, and this difference is known as goodwill. 88.2 million goodwill for Rotab. And remember, in the additional information, there is an impairment of 20% of this goodwill. 88.2 million times 20%, so it is equal to 17.64 million. After the impairment, the goodwill balance is 70.56 million. Is that okay, class? For the first goodwill of Rotab. Then we go to the second one. We go to the second one, the second calculation of goodwill. Second calculation of goodwill. But before we calculate the second goodwill, remember that there is a second acquisition of shares in Rotab. So when there is a second acquisition, we have to calculate whether the second acquisition result in a gain or a loss. A gain or a loss. So we need to calculate this gain or loss. How to get this gain or loss? Okay, we are comparing the consideration transferred. Okay, the consideration transferred is when the parent acquire 20% interest in Rotab, the consideration transferred is 50.4 million. As stated in the question, 50.4 million. And we are going to compare with fair value of net asset on 1st October 2015. So on 1st October 2015, the ordinary share capital is 110 million. The retained profit on 1st July 2015 is 37.5 million. And the profit for the year. Profit for the year for the first quarter. For the first quarter is 5.5 million. Macam mana kita boleh dapat 5.5 million ni? First quarter is 5.5 million. Jadi kalau kita tengok balik dekat soalan, kita tengok current year profit. Current year profit. Okay, saya tengok soalan ni, awak tak nampak lah soalan ni sebab saya tak boleh buka dua file. Okay, so Rotab punya profit for the year. Profit for the year of Rotab is 23. 23. Jadi 23 ini bagi dengan 12 kali dengan 3 bulan. 23 time Okay, saya letak kat sini. 23 million time 3 over 12. Time 3 over 12. Jadi kita dapat sebanyak 5.5 million. So retained profit on 1st July is 37.5. Kemudian from 1st July to 30th June, to 30th September, 3 bulan, July, August, September, 23 million times 3 over 12 is 5.5 million. So bila kita campur sebenarnya dia adalah 38 plus 5, dia jadi 43 million. Ya, 43 million. And the share premium kekal sebanyak 15 million. Okay, so the total amount of fair value of net asset of Rotab on 1st October 2015 is 168 million. 168 million. Ini total 100%. So because the second purchase is only 20%, we are going to multiply 168 with 20%. So 20% of 168 is 33.6 million. 33.6 million. So now we are comparing the consideration transfer, 50.4, and the fair value of net asset 33.6, and the difference is 16.8. Okay, so is this a gain or a loss? Loss, because you are paying more. You are paying more. If this is for the first time, acquisition, it is known as goodwill. But since this is the second time, it is known as loss, because you are paying more, then you are suffering loss actually. Loss of 16.8 million. And this amount, 33.6 million is actually the amount that the non-controlling interest let go. Ataupun kita panggil transfer from non-controlling interest to the parent, because this is the transaction between members of the company, between shareholders of the company. So now, okay, there is a transfer from non-controlling interest 20% to parent 20%, because the parent interest increased by 20% and the non-controlling interest decreased by 20%. And this is actually the 33.6 is actually the amount that the non-controlling interest decrease. So non-controlling interest amount decreased by 33.6 million. Okay, when we analyze the financial statement later, we are going to see this one as a deduction of non-controlling interest. Jadi non-controlling interest telah berkurang sebanyak 33.6 million disebabkan dia dah kurang dia punya percentage daripada 40% kepada 20%. Okay. Next, calculation of goodwill. Yes.
Untuk profit for the year first quarter tu, 5.5 tu dia dah diberi dalam soalan. Kalau kita kira 23 times 3 over 12 dapat 5.75.
5.75 Okay.
Yang 5.5 tu dia dah bagi dekat dalam soalan.
Okay, dalam soalan dah bagi. So mungkin kat situ kita kena ambil yang dah ada dalam soalan lah. Okay, let's say belum ada, mungkin jawapan dia jadi 575 lah. Tapi sebab soalan dah bagi, jadi maknanya dia pun dalam soalan tak ada sebut the profit accrue evenly throughout the year. Ada tak? Tak ada sebut Jadi okey. Jadi saya terimalah jawapan awak tadi. Maknanya kalau dalam soalan dah ada, kita terima. So kita batalkan kita punya calculation ni. So biasanya dia tak bagi. Okay, saya pun tak perasan dia dah bagi dalam soalan. Okay, so kita ambil terus kalau soalan dah bagi. Thank you very much. Okay, 5.5 million. Okay, so boleh kita teruskan dengan calculation of goodwill for Safia?
Boleh, sir.
Okay, so consideration transfer from the equation is 81.6. 81.6 million. Kemudian kita punya fair value of net asset of Safia on 1st July 2015. Safia was acquired on 1st July 2015. And what are the component of fair value of net asset ataupun equity? Okay, it comprised of ordinary share capital 85 million ringgit. Kemudian kita ada retain profit 43.7. This is in the statement of financial position, right? Kemudian kita ada share premium 20 million. Dan kita jangan lupa ada satu fair value adjustment. Fair value adjustment ni adalah apa dia? Land ke? Tengok sekejap. 26 million tu kat mana? Okey, dekat sini ada 26 million tu. Acquisition of Safia. Awak tak nampak soalan ni kan? Jadi saya sebutkan kat sini ada fair value adjustment yang sebenarnya melibatkan plant. One unit of plant that has a fair value of 26 million above the carrying value. Jadi kat situ ada. Dan ada tak remaining useful life? Remaining useful life is 8 years. Okey. So kita kembali kepada soalan, kita kembali kepada jawapan kita. So we have 4 items, ordinary share capital, retained profit, share premium and fair value adjustment. Totalnya 174.7 million. Okay, 174.7 million. Okay, from this 174.7 million, we multiply with 40% to get the non-controlling interest. And the amount of non-controlling interest is 69.88. Okay, and then we add the consideration transferred 81.6. The total of fair value investment is 151.48. Okay, 151.48 we compare with fair value of net asset 174.7. So the difference is what? Goodwill or bargain purchase?
Bargain purchase.
Yes, the difference is bargain purchase because the fair value of investment is less than the fair value of net asset. Okay, good. So for all that, you get 10 marks. Any questions so far? No. Okay, next we analyze the financial statement. Okay, we analyze the financial statement at the end of the year. So what we have here, under the non-controlling interest, okay, we can actually put the non-controlling interest first or group retained profit first. Either one. Okay. Jadi tak ada syarat kat situ nak letak dulu group retained profit ataupun non-controlling interest dalam kolom pertama ataupun kolom yang kedua. Yang penting the column is there. Okay. So, the non-controlling interest of Rotab. Non-controlling interest of Rotab kita dapat daripada calculation of goodwill, that is 59.6. Yeah, 59.6. And then remember just now I mentioned to you, when we calculate the gain or loss on second acquisition, there is a reduction in non-controlling interest by 33.6 million. So there is a transfer from non-controlling interest to parent, to holding, 33.6 million. So 20% is represented by 33.6 million net asset. And then on the first day of the current year, there is an acquisition of new subsidiary, that is Safia, and the non-controlling interest is 69.88. Yeah, 69.88. And then sometimes we tend to forget about preference share. We know that, okay, in Rotab there is a 10 million preference share. And Ajwa has not acquired any numbers of preference share. Dia tak acquire langsung preference share. Jadi all the preference share belong to non-controlling interest. Another one is preference share in Safia. Preference share in Safia, the parent acquire 30%. 30%. Jadi bila dia acquire 30%, ada lagi baki sebanyak 70%. So 70% of 9 million is equal to 6.3 million. That is belong to the non-controlling interest. Only 30% belong to the parent. So ada berapa item tu dalam kita punya non-controlling interest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. Okay. Next we have to analyze the retained profit of each subsidiary. Okay. The first subsidiary is Rotab. So the retained profit of Rotab retained profit of Rotab on 1st July 2015. Okay, why we take the figure for 1st July 2015? Okay, why we do not take the figure from 30th June 2016? Okay, sebabnya adalah ada change in percentage. Ada change in percentage. The percentage kita telah berubah. Percentage telah berubah kat situ. Jadi kita ambil kat sini retained profit as at 1st July 2015 37.5 less pre-acquisition retained profit 24 and current year profit yang 3 bulan tadi daripada 1 bulan 7 tadi telah diberi dalam soalan 5.5 5.5. So 5.5 tolak, okay, 37.5 minus 24 plus 5.5 equal to 19. So 19 saja profit yang available pada 30 hari bulan 9. So kita kali untuk NCI 40% dan untuk grup 60%. So NCI dia dapat 7.6 million dan grup dapat 11.4 million. Okay, is that okay? For the first 3 months it is 40-60 ataupun 60-40. For the rest of the months, it is 80-20. 80-20. So the remaining profit, the remaining profit 23.0 minus 5.5. So the balance is 17.5. Jadi 17.5 ni adalah profit untuk 9 bulan yang berikutnya. So untuk 9 bulan yang berikutnya kita ada 17.5 million. Kemudian kita ada preference dividend payable. Preference dividend payable. Dari mana datang preference dividend payable ni? Preference dividend payable ni ada di kita tengok Rotab. Tengok dekat soalan sekejap. Rotab 1.2 preference dividend. Okay, 1.2 ni adalah preference dividend. Okay, dalam soalan dia kata full year preference dividend Rotab. Additional information number 3. So Rotab kena declare dividend 10 million times 12% sama dengan 1.2 juta. 1.2 juta. So 1.2 juta tadi adalah 12% times 10 million. Kita kena minus sebab dia belum minus lagi. Okay. So 17.5 million minus 1.2 million is equal to 16.3 million. 16.3 million times 20% for NCI and 80% for group. So NCI dapat 3.26 dan group dapat 13.04. Okay. Next, subsidiary Safia. Subsidiary Safia retained profit as at 1st January 2015 43.7 million as per question, and then profit for the year is 9.3 million. 9.3 million. Kemudian kita tolak dengan pre-acquisition retained profit 43.7 million. Jadi sebenarnya dia punya total profit yang kita boleh agihkan hanyalah 9.3 juta. Sebab apa? Sebab pre-acquisition profit sama dengan retained profit brought down. Kenapa sama? Sebab acquisition date happen on 1st July 2015. Okay. Kemudian ada adjustment kat situ, under depreciation of plant. Under depreciation of plant. Macam ni kita tahu ada under depreciation of plant? Okay. In the question, it was given that one of the plant is 26 million more than its carrying value. And the remaining useful life is 8 years. So 26 divided by 8 equals to 3.25. At the same time, there is ordinary dividend payable of 5%. Dalam additional information tadi dinyatakan 85 million times 5% equal to 4.25 million. So after we minus everything, okay, the balance of profit is only 1.8 million. 1.8 million multiplied by 40%. Okay, we get 0.72 million and multiply by 60%, 1.08 million. Okay, 0.72 is for the non-controlling interest and 1.08 is for the the group. Okay, and then we analyze the profit of parent. The profit of parent, there are a lot of adjustment here. Okay, the adjustments. Okay, retained profit on 1st July 2015 is 80.76 from the question. And from the question also, we know that profit for the year is 46 million. Retained profit carried down is 126.76. Can we simply put 126.76? The answer is yes. We just put 126.76 also can. And then there are a few adjustments. Okay, the first adjustment is unrealized profit. You remember just now that Ajwa is sending 3.2 million goods to one of the subsidiary, and the good has not reached the subsidiary. However, the goods has been sent. So there is a certain amount of profit, and that profit is recognized as unrealized profit. 3.2 million times 25% divided by 125%. So we have a 640,000 unrealized profit from the inventory. And then after that, we have ordinary dividend receivable from Safia. Okay, from Safia. Safia declared ordinary dividend of 4.25, and 60% of that is belong to Ajwa. So Ajwa is going to receive, not receive yet, going to receive 2.55 million. And then there is also unrealized profit on equipment. Carrying amount is 15 million, sold for 20 million. Okay, sold for 20 million. Jadi kat situ kita ada unrealized profit of equipment, and also we have over provided depreciation of equipment because the remaining useful life is 4 years. Okay, 5 divided by 4 equal to 1.25. And then we have preferred dividend receivable from Safia also, 30% of 1.08. When Safia declare dividend 1.08, okay, Ajwa has not taken credit. Ajwa has not taken credit. So, dia kena masuklah, ya, kena masukkan dalam analysis of financial statement dia kat sini, 30% of 1.08. Macam mana dapat 1.08? 1.08 ni adalah 9 million kali dengan 12%. Itu kali dengan 30%. Goodwill impairment just now is 17.64 million. Bargain purchase is 23.22 million. And lastly, loss on second acquisition, 16.8. So there are a lot of adjustment. Jadi bila a lot of adjustment, a lot of marks is given. Yeah, is given in the retained profit of parent kat sini. Yeah, retained profit of parent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ada 8 tick kat sini, bermakna ada 4 markah kat sini saja. Okay, so the balance of 114.024 is brought to group retained profit. Yeah, jadi menjadikan total group retained profit at the end of the year 139.544 and non-controlled interest 123.76. Okay, jadi untuk kotak yang ni tadi, analysis of financial statement dapatlah 11 markah. Next. Okay, sekarang ni kita nak tengok consolidated statement of financial position. Okay, jadi berapa banyak markah daripada 10 ataupun 12 baris ni? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 baris ni, berapa markah yang kita boleh dapat, ya? Okay, so kita tengok yang pertama sekali adalah property, plant and equipment. So we add together the three company, 201, 179, 128.08. Okay, so untuk 3 ni kita bagilah 1 tick, maknanya setengah markah. Kemudian kita ada fair value of plant 26, 1 tick lagi. Kemudian under provided depreciation 3.25, 1 tick lagi. Unrealized profit of equipment 5, 1 tick lagi. Over provided depreciation of equipment 1.25, 1 tick lagi. Jadi semuanya ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So untuk property plant equipment kita dapat 2 markah, 2.5 marks. Okay, 2.5 marks. Untuk goodwill, okay, biasanya goodwill kita bagi markah dekat nama dia, goodwill. Inventory, so okay, inventories ni 29, 22.6, 22.5 ni kita bagilah satu tick sahaja. Lepas tu kita ada unrealized profit on inventory 0.64 ni satu tick. Okey, dan satu tick lagi datangnya daripada inventory 3.2 ni, kan? Good in transit kita kena campur balik dalam inventory. Sebab apa kita campur balik dalam inventory? Okey, situationnya begini. Good in transit ni, the goods is no more with the seller. Goods tadi tak ada pada seller. Pada masa yang sama, goods juga tak ada pada buyer. Goods tadi berada di tengah jalan di antara seller dengan buyer. Jadi tak ada siapa yang mencatat. Okey, tak ada siapa yang mencatat 3.2 million tadi. 3.2 million tadi dah tak ada dalam stock of the seller, belum ada dalam stock of buyer. Jadi dia dalam perjalanan. So kita kena campur baliklah 3.2 million because the stock exists. The only problem is the stock is in transit. Okay. And then kat situ kita ada bagi satu markah setengah. Okay. Kemudian trade and other receivables. Okay. Tak ada satu saja adjustment dia, intercompany transaction, intercompany balance kat situ. So sini kita bagi satu markah, satu tick, jadi setengah-setengah. Bank. Okay, bank ni satu markah saja sebab tak ada adjustment. Sorry, setengah markah, tak ada adjustment. Equity and liabilities. Ordinary share of the parent asalnya ada berapa? Asalnya ada 158 Ada 158 million. Kemudian they issue new ordinary share to acquire the ordinary share of Rotab. Kan? Tadi 132 divided by 3 times 2. Dapat tak 88? Dapat kan? Dapatkan 88. Jadi kalau ikutkan 158 plus 88. 158 plus 88. Okey. So kita dapatlah satu angka kat sana. Okey, dekat sini nanti. Kemudian, okay, share premium ni, kat bawah ni kita ada share premium, asalnya ada 40, lepas tu campur dengan 88 kali 90 sen. Jadi sebab soalan ni adalah soalan lama, masih ada lagi share premium. Soalan baru sepatutnya tak ada share premium. Jadi bila dia kata tadi dia issue at RM1.90, 88 tadi straight away kita kali dengan RM1.90. Kemudian yang share premium yang lama ni kita bawa masuk ke dalam ordinary share. Sebab sekarang dah tak ada ordinary share, tak ada share premium account. Everything become ordinary share. So ordinary share kita, jadi kalau anda nampak kat sini, kita dah kosongkan ruangan share premium. Share premium ni kita campur dalam ordinary share. So bila saya kata macam tu, maknanya 158 plus 88 plus 40 plus 88 times 90 sen. So kita dapat 365.2. Okay, 365.2. Jadi saya tak boleh buang terus dia punya share premium daripada mula, daripada atas. Sebab asalnya share premium tu kita guna untuk calculate goodwill. Kemudian bila kita dah masuk kepada statement of financial position, in term of presentation, we don't have to present the share premium. Share premium ni adalah part of ordinary share capital. Okay. And then we have 10% cumulative preference share. 10% cumulative preference share ni adalah parent only lah. Kemudian kita ada group profit dengan NCI ni. Jangan calculate semula lah. Kita dah dapat tadi calculation ni daripada analysis of financial statement. Jadi jangan kita buang masa kita untuk calculate semula group return profit. Kita tahu the purpose of analyzing the financial statement is to find this non-controlling interest and group profit. Jadi sebenarnya banyak markah tadi. Untuk non-control interest dengan group profit tu kita dah bagi 11 markah tadi kat atas. So, tak adalah markah kat sini. Markah di atas, dalam analisis. And then ordinary dividend payable. Okay, ordinary dividend payable, kita ada ordinary dividend of parent. Kita ada ordinary dividend of Rotab. Kita ada ordinary dividend of satu company lagi, iaitu Safia. So, untuk yang Ajwa tadi tak ada adjustment sebab Ajwa nothing to do with the group. Tetapi untuk Rotab tadi, okey, untuk Rotab kena bayar dividen kepada Ajwa. Ya. Sebanyak berapa persen? 80%. Okey. Manakala Safia pula dia kena bayar dividen sebanyak 60% kepada Ajwa. 60% daripada total dividen yang dibayarlah. Begitu juga dengan Rotab tadi, 80% daripada total dividen dia bayar, dia kena bayar kepada Ajwa. So adjustment tu kat situ. Ordinary dividend payable kita adjust. Okay. And then preference dividend payable pun begitu juga. Preference dividend ni kita ada preference dividend 1.2. 1.2 ni Rotab. 1.2 ni Rotab. So Rotab dia bayar dividen, tetapi dividen tu tak ada kena-mengena dengan Ajwa. So ada full kat sini. Manakala yang Safia pula, dia bayar dividen tak banyak, 1.08. Tetapi 0.324 ni dibayar kepada Ajwa. Okay. Dan last sekali, trade and other payables. Okay. Trade and other payables. Kita ada 3 company tadi. Ajwa, Rotab and Safia. 8.64, 9 and 7. Kemudian kita campur dengan inventory. Ya. Inventory yang ada tadi berapa? 3.2. Kemudian kita tolak dengan intercompany. Ya, intercompany sebenarnya 7. Jadi sebenarnya kalau kita nak simplify ni, kita boleh buat macam mana? Kita buat 8.64 campur 9 campur 7 tolak berapa? Tolak 3.8. Tolak 3.8. Itu kalau kita nak simplify lah. Sebab sebenarnya 3.2 ni tak sampai lagi kepada purchaser. Okey. Tapi kalau kita tunjuk macam ni pun tak salah juga. Maknanya kat situ kita tolak 7 campur 3.2. Sebab 3.2 tadi adalah in transit. Okey kelas, so inilah jawapan dia. Jadi untuk yang bawah ni saya tak cerita tadi berapa banyak markah kita nak bagi. Okey. So biasanya ordinary untuk yang ada working macam ni adalah markah. Mungkin satu tick dekat sini. Kemudian untuk share premium pun ada satu tick. Jadi untuk ordinary share capital tadi ada satu markah. Kemudian group return profit NCI ni dekat angka tak ada markah. Tetapi mungkin kalau nak bagi markah pun dekat sinilah, dekat perkataan dia ni, dekat term. Ordinary dividend payable kat sini kita ada 3 tick. Ada 3 tick 3 tick. 1.5 markah. Preference pun preference ada 2 tick saja. Trade payable ada 3 tick. 3 tick, maknanya 1.5 markah. Okey. Jadi kita nampak kat sini 30 markah ni. 30 markah ni keseluruhan daripada soalannya. Tapi untuk ini, untuk statement of financial position, 9 markah sahaja. Okey, so soalan yang berikutnya ditanya tentang the second acquisition of 20% Ajwa Berhad in Rotab will be treated as transaction between the owner and no additional goodwill is recognized. This is due to the formation of the parent and subsidiary relationship which has already existed on first acquisition of 60%. Even though the controlling interest has increased to 80%, the non-controlling interest amount will be decreased by 20% instead. Jadi tidak ada calculation of goodwill yang baru, tetapi apa yang berlaku hanyalah ada changes in term of ownership of 20% tadi. Daripada non-controlling interest telah berpindah kepada holding. Okey, so itulah dia jawapan untuk soalan yang kita ada ni. Okey, jadi sebelum kita conclude untuk tajuk ni, ada tak apa-apa soalan? Ada tak apa-apa nak clarify? Tak ada Okey, kalau tak ada, kita break 5 minit. Kemudian kita akan masuk tajuk baru iaitu decrease in shareholding. Okey, kita sambung. Kita sambung dengan tajuk baru, decrease in shareholding. Okay, there are two instances when the interest of the parent in the investee could decrease. Ada dua situasi, dua keadaan yang mana kepentingan parent di dalam subsidiary tadi boleh turun. Number one, the investor dispose of all or portion of its interest in investee. Number one is because of disposal. And number two is there is a deemed disposal. Tak ada disposal tapi ada deemed disposal. Okay, there are a few consolidation issues. The first one is the change in relationship between investor and investee. Masa kita belajar tentang increase dulu pun macam ni juga. Change in relationship. Masa tu daripada simple kepada subsidiary. Daripada associate kepada subsidiary. Daripada subsidiary kepada subsidiary. Pada kali ini, daripada subsidiary kepada subsidiary, subsidiary kepada associate, subsidiary kepada simple investment. Okay. Secondly, treatment of goodwill. How are we going to treat the goodwill? Okay. Kalau increase hari tu, bila ada increase in shareholding, asalnya kita dah subsidiary, kemudian ada increase, we don't have to calculate the goodwill. Okay, we calculate goodwill once. Tapi macam mana pula dengan goodwill of decrease in shareholding? Adakah kita nak eliminate ataupun macam mana? Kemudian yang ketiga, determination of gain or loss on disposal of shares. Okay, in the investor book as well as in the group book. Okay, let's look at this. Change in relationship. Okay, it start with H has 80% of the interest in ordinary share capital of S. Okay, first situation is dispose of all. First situation, dispose all. Dispose all means 80%. So in this case, investor cease to be an investor. Investor bukan lagi investor. Okay, ada 80, jual semua. Investor is not an investor anymore. Second situation, dispose partly. Yeah, dispose partly. So from 80%, dispose 20%. The balance is 60%. So 60% is still an investor, is still an acquirer. So investor is still in control. Investee is still a subsidiary. Third situation, 80% minus 40 equal to 40. So daripada 80% tinggal 40%. Investor has no control, but it has significant influence. Yeah, it has significant influence. And the investee become an associate. And number 4, dispose mostly. From 80%, dispose 70%, and the balance is 10%. It is known as simple investment. Okay, simple investment. So ada 4 keadaan di sini. Okay, second issue is about the treatment of goodwill. How are you going to treat the goodwill? If investor retain control, goodwill will retain. If investor retain control, goodwill retain. For example, from 80% to 60%. Investor still in control, therefore goodwill retain. If investor lost control. If investor lost control, goodwill will be disposed partly or all. What is the meaning of partly? Partly means the balance of unimpaired goodwill. Yeah, unimpaired goodwill. Jadi goodwill kan kadang-kadang kita calculate goodwill, for example ada 100,000 goodwill. 100,000 goodwill. and then impaired by 20,000. So the balance of goodwill is 80,000. Itulah yang kita panggil dispose partly. Jadi 80,000 tu sebenarnya kita dispose jugalah semua. Tetapi part because of kita dah ada impairment asalnya. Ataupun all. All ni kalau tak ada lagi impairment. Jadi kita dispose all the goodwill. Determination of gain or loss on disposal. Determination of gain or loss on disposal. So, in the book of the investor. Jadi bila berlaku disposal of shares, apa yang perlu dicatatkan oleh investor? Dia hanya perlu mencatatkan proceeds received. Proceeds received. Katakan dijual sebanyak 20%. So, proceeds from the 20% tadi berapa? Kemudian kita akan compare dengan carrying amount of investment kali dengan 20%. Okay. Lepas tu kita akan dapatlah gain or loss on disposal. Jadi, in the investor book, it is very simple. Kita compare the proceed dengan carrying amount. Manakala untuk gain or loss on disposal, for the group, okay, there are two situations. The first situation is the parent retain control. So when the parent retain control, we are going to compare the proceed received with fair value of net asset of investment on the date of disposal time the percentage of disposal. Okay, maknanya kita tak ada sentuh langsung dia punya goodwill. Tetapi untuk loss control ni, proceeds received, katakan 20%, ataupun 40% tadi. Okay, kita akan campur dengan fair value of remaining shares. Fair value of remaining shares. Remaining shares tadi, kalau asalnya 80, kita jual 40, remaining ni 40. So, proceeds tu 40, remaining 40. Okay, kemudian kita compare dengan net asset on the date of disposal plus remaining. Kali dengan all percentage, kali dengan 80%. So, kita akan dapat kat situ preliminary gain. Preliminary gain. XX ni adalah preliminary gain. Kemudian ada goodwill, bagi goodwill kita minus goodwill di sini, remaining goodwill. So, barulah kita dapat actual gain or loss. Actual gain or loss on disposal. Okay, so inilah kita punya nota kita dalam PowerPoint ni, simple aja. Okay, seterusnya kita akan terus tengok kepada nota kita dalam Excel. Dalam Excel lebih detail lagi. Okay, decrease in shareholding Excel. So, kita pergi tengok kepada example yang pertama. Example pertama ni adalah example 3. Example 3 daripada buku. Example 3 daripada buku muka surat 630. So, siapa yang ada buku boleh refer muka surat 630. Okay. Siapa tak ada buku, refer kepada soalan yang saya bagi dalam WhatsApp group. Okay, jumpa tak soalan tu? Example 3, muka surat 630. Jumpa dalam WhatsApp. So, untuk yang dalam WhatsApp tu, kita akan baca dia punya statement of financial position dan statement of profit or loss nanti. Okay. Jadi, untuk summary kepada soalan ni, apa sebenarnya komponen dalam soalan ni. Okey, soalan ni menceritakan kepada kita tentang disposal of shares in subsidiary. Okay. Disposal of shares in subsidiary daripada 80% kepada 0%. Okay. Daripada 80% kepada 0%. So kita tengok dia punya story dia. Ash acquired S 80% of ordinary share in S on 1st January 20X7. Yeah, 20X7. And the consideration transferred is 120,000. 120,000. Okay. Kemudian pada 1 Julai 2009, dia dispose semua sekali pada harga 200,000. Jadi pada catatan purchaser ni, pada catatan H, dia dapat untung dah sebanyak 80,000. Okay, in the books of H, dapat keuntungan sebanyak 80,000. Tapi for the group, kita akan tengok nanti sekejap lagi. Okay. So, untuk melihat kepada apakah isi kandungan keseluruhan soalan, kita boleh refer kepada gambar yang saya masukkan dalam WhatsApp group tu. Siapa ada buku boleh refer muka surat 630. Okey. Jadi dalam muka surat 630 tu kita ada given below ada statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss of S and its subsidiary S. Sekejap saya cuba cari dalam ni kalau ada. Tak ada lah, dalam komputer saya ni tak ada. So kita tengok soalan dalam WhatsApp je. Okey, kita tengok soalan dalam WhatsApp. Okey. Jadi dalam WhatsApp ni, given below ada statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss of S and its subsidiary S. Okay, so apa yang kita penting untuk tengok adalah equity of S. Equity of S, ordinary share 100,000, retained profit 1st January 40,000, profit for the year 10,000. Kemudian untuk H pula yang penting adalah investment in S 120,000. Okey, seterusnya statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December X9. Revenue of S 100,000, expenses 85,000, profit before tax 15,000, taxation 5,000 dan profit after tax is 10,000. Additional information. Ash acquired 80% of the shares of S on 1st January X7 when the reserve of S were 20,000. When the reserve of S was 20,000. Jadi 20,000 ni adalah pre-acquisition retained profit. Ya, pre-acquisition retained profit. The number of issued ordinary share was 100,000. Lepas tu yang kedua, Ash dispose of all its shares in S on 1st July X9 for 200,000. This transaction has not been recorded in the books of Ash yet. Goodwill on consolidation remain unimpaired, and the fair value of non-controlling interest on 1st January X7, okay, was for 25,500 ni. Yang ni kita tak gunalah. Untuk yang ni kita tak guna sebab kita nak gunakan based on fair value of net asset. Okay, jadi additional information yang keempat tu kita tak gunakan. Okay, kita gunakan kita punya calculation sendiri. Okay, jadi berbalik kepada kita punya nota dalam Excel ni. Okay, so first thing that we are going to do is to calculate the goodwill. Yeah, goodwill masa acquire pada 1 hari bulan Januari 20X7. Okay, so how to calculate the goodwill? Goodwill is by comparing the consideration transferred plus NCI and the fair value of net asset. Okay, consideration transferred is 120,000. Fair value of net asset is share capital 100,000 and retained profit 20,000. Okay, the total fair value of net asset is 120,000. Okay, and then from this 120,000, we calculate our non-controlling interest. 120,000 multiplied by 20% equal to 24,000. So now 120,000 plus 24,000 equal to 144,000. 144,000 is fair value of net asset. Fair value of investment, sorry. So fair value of investment 144, kita compare dengan fair value of net asset 120, kita dapatlah goodwill sebanyak 24. Ya, goodwill sebanyak 24,000. Okey. Okey, rasanya itu tak ada masalah. Kemudian disposal of shares. Ya, kita nak find dia punya gain or loss on disposal. So, disposal of shares. Now we dispose all of the shares 80% tu. So proceeds dia adalah all. Proceeds from the 80% is 200,000. Yeah. Proceeds from the 80% is 200,000, and that proceeds will be compared with fair value of net asset on disposal date. So, fair value of net asset on disposal date on 1st July 2000X9 is comprising of share capital 100,000 and retained earning 45,000. How do we get this 45,000? 45,000 is actually from retained profit brought down. 40,000 plus current year profit for 6 months. Yeah, current year profit for 6 months. Why 6 months? Because disposal happened in the middle of the year on 1st July. Okay, 20X9. So, we take 5,000 out of 10,000 of the profit for the year. So, the profit on the date of acquisition is, the profit on the date of disposal is 45,000. And the fair value of net asset is 145,000. From this 145,000, we multiply with 80%, yeah, and 80% of 145,000 is equal to 116,000. Just now, the proceeds from disposal is 200,000 and the fair value of net asset is 116,000. So the difference is preliminary gain. Yeah, the difference is preliminary gain of 84,000. Preliminary gain. Why I said this is preliminary gain? Because we have not deduct the goodwill yet. So we have to check how much the goodwill remain The remaining goodwill is 24,000. So 24,000 is deducted from 84,000. And the actual gain is 60,000. Yeah, actual gain is 60,000. Okay. So why we have to put the second column and third column there? NCI 29. Can you see the NCI 29? NCI initially is 20%. So after the parent dispose of all 80%, there is no more NCI. So 29,000 here, net asset of 20% here is actually representing the amount of decrease in non-controlling interest. So non-controlling interest decreased by 29,000. Yeah, non-controlling interest decreased by 29,000. And at the end of the year, the non-controlling interest becomes 0. Because when there is no holding, there is no non-controlling interest. Non-controlling interest only exists when there is a holding. When there is a holding company and the acquisition percentage is less than 100%, so there is a parent, there is a non-controlling interest. If there is no parent, there is no non-controlling interest. Next, we're going to analyze the financial statement brought down. So, analysis of financial statement brought down. We have the non-controlling interest on the date of acquisition on 1st January 2005. January 2007, sorry. So, on 1st January 2007, this year is 2009, right? This year is 2009. So, on 1st January 2009, what is the balance of NCI? Yeah, the balance of NCI on acquisition date is 24,000. The balance of POA on the date of acquisition on 1st January 2007. 1st January 2007 is 24,000. Okay, after that, we analyze the retained profit of S. Retained profit of S brought down. This brought down is on 1st January 2000 X9. Okay, retained profit brought down is 40. Retained earning on the date of acquisition is 20. Therefore, the post-acquisition retained profit brought down is 20,000. And this 20,000 will be allocated to group and NCI based on the original percentage, that is 80% and 20%. 16 and 4. And then we have another balance, that is H, retained profit brought down 60,000. And for H, there is no adjustment. So at the end, we can calculate the group retained earning on 1st January 2019, 2000 X9, 76,000. And NCI is 28,000. After that, we have to analyze the financial statement carried down. Financial statement carried down. Financial statement carried down is, okay, we have NCI on the date of acquisition, 24. And disposal of subsidiary, that is also a decrease in NCI of 29. I mentioned to you just now, the NCI decreased by 29,000. That is representing 20% of the net asset of subsidiary on disposal date. So 29, yeah? 24 minus 29. And then we analyze the retained profit carried down of S. Okay, retained profit carried down of S. We remember that disposal happened on 1st July. So we cannot take the retained profit carried down of S on 31st December 20X9. Because 31st December 20X9, S is not in the group anymore. Okay, that's why we start with retained profit brought down of 40,000 minus DOA 20,000 plus current year profit for 6 months. So for 6 months, it means from 1st January until 30th June, amounting to 5,000. So now the balance of retained profit carried down is 25,000. 25,000 multiply with 80% equals to 20,000 for the group and 5,000 for the non-controlling interest. As for H, the retained profit brought down is 60 plus current year profit 40 and gain on disposal of subsidiary is 60. So the retained profit of H is 160,000 plus 20,000 retained profit from S. So the balance of retained profit of the group on 31st December X9 is 180 and the amount of NCI at the end of the year is 0. Okay, 24 minus 29 plus 5 equal to 0. So what we are going to do after this, we are going to prepare the statement of profit or loss. The statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December X9. Okay, we start with revenue. Okay, let us see this revenue. 300 plus 50. Why it is 300 plus 50? Why it is not 300 plus 100?
Because disposed at the middle of the year.
Yes, very good. Because disposal was done in the middle of the year. So only half of the revenue of the subsidiary will be included in the revenue of the group. Okay, and the same goes to expenses. Yeah, expenses also half year. Yeah, half year expenses, and taxation also half year taxation. Okay, so revenue is 350 minus expenses 272.5, and then plus gain on sale of shares in subsidiary 60. So we have a profit before tax of 137.5 and taxation of 32.5. Therefore, the profit after tax is 105. From this 105, okay, from this 105, there is a portion of profit that is belong to non-controlling interest. So we need to calculate how much is the non-controlling interest share of profit for the year, because non-controlling interest is only up to 30th June. Okay, only up to 30th June. So we take the profit of subsidiary for the first 6 months. For the first 6 months is 5,000 time percentage of non-controlling interest 20. 20% times 5,000 is equal to 1,000. So 1,000 is actually the profit attributable to the non-controlling interest for the year. Only 1,000. So out of 105, 1,000 belong to non-controlling interest and 104 belongs to the parent. Next. We analyze the consolidated statement of changes in equity. So now we have analyzed the balance brought down and balance carried down of group retained earning and non-controlling interest. So now we just put the figure here. The balance brought down of group retained earning 76,000 and the balance brought down of non-controlling interest is 28,000. And then during the year there is a disposal of subsidiary. So there is a reduction of 29 from NCI and there is additional 1,000 of NCI. Whereas for the group, there is an additional 104 profit for the year. So the balance carried down is 180,000 for group retained earning and NCI is 0. And this amount is exactly the same as the figure that we have calculated in analysis of financial statement carried down. Okay, analysis of financial statement carried down. Next, lastly for this example, consolidated statement of financial position. Okay, now the asset. The asset comprised of sundry asset 280. Okay, why there is only 280? Why we don't have to add the asset of the subsidiary? Why we don't have to add the asset of the subsidiary here? Why this only asset of the parent?
Because dia dah dispose semua.
Because the subsidiary has been disposed, kan? Jadi bila kita dah dispose, tak adalah asset subsidiary kat sini. So sundry asset 280 parent only. And then what is this receivable 200,000? This receivable is coming from the amount of proceeds yang belum diterima lagi, 200,000. Okay, and then equity side of the financial position. Ordinary share 300,000 parent punya, retained earning 180 from analysis of financial statement, and non-controlling interest 0 from the analysis of financial statement. So setelah kita punya soalan ini, soalan dalam example 3, subsidiary itu nil. Okay, ada apa-apa soalan tentang subsidiary itu nil? So saya akan summarizekan apa yang kita buat pada example ni. Yang pertama, of course lah, kita kena analyse dulu percentage ni. Kemudian kita calculate goodwill kita. Walaupun kita tahu dalam soalan dah sebut dah, akan ada disposal. Kita beli 80%, kemudian kita jual 80%. Tapi calculation of goodwill is very important. We need to know what is the goodwill amount. Okay. And then we calculate the gain or loss on disposal. Gain or loss on disposal of the investment in subsidiary. So in this case, okay, kita dapat gain on disposal. Dan gain on disposal ni, amount ni kita akan bawa masuk dalam SOPL lah. Gain on disposal 60 ni masuk dalam SOPL. Okay, so langkah-langkah seterusnya sama macam biasa, kita analyse the financial statement, brought down and carried down. Dan kemudian kita akan prepare consolidated profit or loss. Dan kita akan prepare statement of changes in equity dan statement of financial position. Tapi kita kena berhati-hati bila kita nak calculate kita punya profit after tax attributable to non-controlling interest. Jadi dalam example ni dia tak adalah adjustment banyak-banyak. Sebab dia nak bagi kita faham untuk subject matter, iaitu disposal of subsidiary. Jadi kalau dia bagi additional information banyak-banyak untuk yang intercompany dan sebagainya, nanti kita punya fokus akan hilang. Daripada fokus kepada disposal of subsidiary, kita dah fokus kepada intercompany pula. Jadi dalam example, sebab itulah example dia senang. Tapi bila soalan sebenar susah. Sebab soalan sebenar ni combination of many things. Tapi example ni adalah kita fokus untuk kita faham satu-satu subject matter. Okay? Ada tak soalan? Kalau tak ada, kita pergi kepada example yang seterusnya. Tak ada Okey. Kalau tak ada, kita pergi example 4. Example 4 ni sebenarnya sama dengan example 3. Cuma fakta dia sedikit berbeza. Fakta dia sedikit berbeza sebab apa? Sebab yang ni from subsidiary to subsidiary. Maknanya 80% kita tak jual semua. Kita jual 20% sahaja. So ada baki lagi 60%. Ada baki lagi 60%. Okey. So kita tengok di sini acquisition sama juga dengan tadi. Acquired as 80% on 1st January 20x7 and the consideration transferred is 120,000. And then dispose of 20%. Bila? 1 Julai 20x9. Okey, 20% pada harga 75,000. Okey, agak-agak untung ke rugi? Jawapan ni agak-agak untung ke rugi? Rugi. Kita tengok dulu untung ataupun rugi. Okey, calculate dulu goodwill. Goodwill sama dengan tadi. Sebab faktanya sama, jadi goodwill sama 24. Goodwill 24. Okey. So, sekarang ni kita nak tengok disposal of shares in subsidiary, untung ataupun rugi. Suspend ya. Okey, untung ke rugi, untung ke rugi, untung ke rugi. Okey. Untung ke rugi. Okey. So, macam mana kita nak buat ni? Okey, disposal tadi Proceeds from disposal 75,000 tadi, which is 20%. Ya. 20% tadi. Kita compare dengan 20% of total net asset. 20% of total net asset. Jadi total net asset on the date of disposal, share capital is 100,000. Retained earning tadi sama dengan yang tadi, 45. Okay, jadi total fair value of net asset is 145. Kali dengan 20%. Sama dengan 29. Okay, sama dengan 29. So, 75 compare dengan 29. 75 is the sale proceed, 29 adalah dia punya fair value of net asset untuk 20%. So kita dapat preliminary gain of 46,000. Ya, preliminary gain. Kemudian perlu tak kita tolak dengan goodwill 24 tadi? Kita tak perlu nak tolak dengan goodwill yang 24 tadi. Sebab apa? Sebab subsidiary masih lagi subsidiary. Subsidiary tadi tidak berubah status dia, masih lagi subsidiary. So goodwill kita retain. Kita maintain goodwill tadi 24, masih ada lagi dalam statement of financial position. Jadi kita tak tolak goodwill, so gain kita kekal sebanyak 46,000. Ya. Goodwill kekal sebanyak 46,000. Sorry, bukan goodwill. Gain masih kekal sebanyak 46,000. Nak sebut gain jadi goodwill. Gain kekal sebanyak 46,000. Jadi, 46,000 ni, kita tak boleh bawa masuk dalam SOPL. 46,000 tak boleh bawa masuk dalam SOPL. So, kita nak masuk mana? Kita nak masuk dalam statement of changes in equity. Sebab ini adalah transaction between parent and non-controlling interest. Okay. Jadi parent turun dan controlling interest naik. Parent turun daripada 80 kepada 60 dan controlling interest naik daripada 20 kepada 40. Okay. So, ya, kenaikan dalam non-controlling interest tadi adalah sebanyak 29. Non-controlling interest naik sebanyak 29. Sebab apa? Sebab 29,000 ni mewakili 20%. Okey, mewakili 20%. So, simpan dulu angka 29, simpan dulu angka 46. Kita pergi kepada analysis of financial statement. Okey. Analysis of financial statement untuk brought down sama dengan yang tadi, tak ada beza langsung. Brought down sama dengan yang tadi, tak ada beza langsung sebab brought down ini pada 1 Januari 2000 X9. Yang berbeza adalah analysis of financial statement carried down. Analysis of financial statement carried down, sebagaimana saya sebutkan tadi, dan controlling interest bertambah nilai dia sebanyak 29. Ya, bertambah nilai dia sebanyak 29. Yang asal 24, original is 24, increased by 29 just now. So this is actually a transfer of net asset from the parent to NCI. From the parent to NCI. Kalau kita tengok tadi yang tadi, 29 tu adalah negatif kan? 29 tu negatif kat sini. Sebab apa? Sebab NCI telah berkurang menjadi kosong. Daripada 20% menjadi kosong. Tetapi dalam example 4 ni, NCI telah meningkat daripada 20% kepada 40%. Okey. Jadi 29 ni net asset yang diambil daripada parent. Okey, meningkatkan amount NCI. Okey. Next ya. Next adalah analysis of retained profit of S. Retained profit of S brought down 40,000 macam tadi juga. And then we minus retained earning on the date of acquisition, sama juga 20,000. Current year profit sama juga 5,000. Okay, kemudian profit for the year 5,000 tadi. Kemudian balance of retained profit up to 30th June 25,000. Ya, 25,000 ni kita kali dengan percentage lama. Percentage lama 80-20. Sampai 30 Jun, percentage dia adalah 80-20. So, 80% time 25 equal to 20. 20% time 25 equal to 5. Okey. Kemudian, untuk setengah tahun yang berikutnya, S ni subsidiary ke bukan? Untuk 6 bulan yang berikutnya, daripada 1 Julai sampai Disember, adakah S masih lagi subsidiary?
Masih lagi subsidiary.
Yes, masih lagi subsidiary. Cuma percentage dia telah turun daripada 80 menjadi 60. So, kita ambil profit yang setengah tahun lagi, 5,000 kali 60% untuk GRE kali 40% untuk NCI. Jadi, NCI meningkat menjadi 40%, manakala parent turun daripada 80 kepada 60. So, dia cuma dapat 3,000 untuk group retained earning dan untuk non-controlling interest 2,000 sahaja. Right? Okey, kemudian Ash pula. Okey, Ash, dalam Ash ni retained profit brought down 60, current year 40. Current year 40. Kemudian total dia 100. 100. Dan don't forget that we have a gain on disposal of subsidiary amounting to 46. So, bila campur-campur semua, kita dapat retain profit, group retain profit at the end of the year is 169 and non-controlling interest is 60. Okay, sebab apa? Ada lagi baki NCI? Sebab NCI masih ada. Sebab apa NCI masih ada? Sebab parent masih ada. Kalau parent dah tak ada, NCI pun tak ada. Okay. So, next. Analyze statement of profit or loss. Kali ni. Okay. Revenue kali ni berbeza 100 campur 100. Sorry, 300 campur 100. Kenapa bukan 300 campur 50? Kenapa campur 100 bukan campur 50?
Sebab dia masih lagi subsidiary.
Yes, very good. Dia masih lagi subsidiary sampai hujung tahun. So, why we have to take half year? Kan? Jadi kita kena ambil setahun penuh dia punya revenue dia. So 300 for the parent, 100 for the subsidiary. Expenses pun sama juga, 230 full year, 85 of the subsidiary pun full year juga. Okay. Kemudian saya sebutkan tadi gain on disposal of subsidiary, ya, kita tak masuk di sini. Kita akan masuk dalam statement of changes. Sebab apa tak masuk? Sebab dia adalah transaction between members of the group ataupun members of subsidiary. Who are the members of subsidiary? Members of the subsidiary are parent and NCI. Jadi apa-apa transfer daripada parent kepada NCI ataupun NCI kepada parent, selagi mana parent masih lagi parent, okay, whatever gain ataupun loss tak akan masuk dalam SOPL. Dia akan masuk dalam statement of changes in equity. Taxation pun full. Full taxation 35 and the profit for the year is 50. Okay, let's calculate the profit attributable to NCI. So NCI ni ada dua tempoh dengan dua percentage. For the first 6 months, profit is 5,000 times 20%. Equal to 1,000. And for the second 6 months, the profit is also 5,000 times 40% equal to 2,000. Therefore, the total profit attributable to NCI is 3,000. Daripada 50, pada 50,000, 3,000 belong to NCI, 47,000 belong to the parent. Okay. So about the calculation of NCI ni tak ada masalah ya. Kita pergi kepada consolidated statement of changes in equity. Ini pun sama juga macam tadi. 76 dan 28 ni kita dapat daripada analysis of financial statement brought down 76 and 28. 76 and 28. Okey. Sila perhatikan pada line yang kedua. Line yang kedua ni, disposal of shares to NCI. So disposal of shares to NCI, kita dapat gain sebanyak 46 dan letak di sini. Gain sebanyak 46 dan letakkan dalam statement of changes in equity. Manakala NCI pun dapat juga. NCI dapat tambahan net asset sebanyak 29,000. At the same time, kita agihkan profit kepada group sebanyak 47,000 dan kepada NCI sebanyak 3,000, menjadikan balance carried down of retained profit is 169,000 and non-controlling interest is 60,000. Okay, and that amount is the same as the amount of analysis of financial statement carried down. Okay, dan last sekali, sundry asset. Okay, dalam consolidated statement of financial position, kita bermula dengan sundry asset. Sundry asset tadi, example 3, kita masukkan sundry asset of the parent only. Tapi kali ini ada sundry asset of the parent and sundry asset of the subsidiary because subsidiary still exists until the end of the year. Okay, dan kita juga ada goodwill sebanyak 24. Okay, goodwill 24 tadi, unimpaired goodwill 24,000. Dan last sekali, kita ada receivable 75,000. You have sold the 20% interest in ordinary share, but you have not received the money. That's why kat situ ada receivables. Okay, equity side of the statement of financial position. Ordinary share 300,000. That is ordinary share of the parent only. Retained earning 169 and non-controlling interest 60. So 169 and 60, they are actually coming from the analysis of financial statement as well as consolidated statement of changes in equity. Okay, kelas. Jadi itulah perbezaan di antara subsidiary to nil dan juga subsidiary to subsidiary. Kita masih ada lagi 2 example, subsidiary to associate dan subsidiary to simple. Okay, so yang itu kita akan cover dalam kelas pada hari Selasa depan lah. Pada Selasa depan. Kita akan sambung pada Selasa depan. Jadi untuk hari Khamis ni, untuk hari Khamis saya bercadang untuk nak discuss satu soalan pas semester lah, test. Sebab hari Sabtu kita dah ada test ya. Sabtu kita ada test dan sila perhatikan apakah komponen dalam tajuk test ya. Komponen tajuk test tu pada 18 hari bulan pukul 9 pagi hingga 10.30 pagi. Test 1 hari Sabtu. Okay, ya. Jadi awak boleh baca tajuk-tajuk yang akan ditanya dalam test tu dan kemudian insyaAllah lah pada hari Khamis kita akan discuss satu soalan. Memang sempat saya rasa satu soalan saja sebab masa 1 jam saja. Okey, jadi setakat ni ada apa-apa soalan nak tanya? Untuk kita nak sambung dengan subsidiary to associate tu memang tak sempat lah. Sebab kita ada perbezaan di antara subsidiary to subsidiary dengan subsidiary to associate. Ada tak apa-apa soalan?
Tak ada.
Tak ada ya? Okey, so kalau tak ada, insyaAllah kita jumpa lagi pada hari Khamis. Kita sudahi dengan surah Wal-Asr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal-asri innal insana lafi khusr. Illa allazina amanu wa amilus salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
sir.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.